be my new puppet for work.
Hello, everyone. Hey, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Julie Harnish, and I have been teaching ESL online for about 2 years now. I would like to help you learn how to pass any online ESL interview, regardless of which company it is. Stay tuned at the end because I'm going to give you 5 bonus tips of things to never do in any online ESL interview. Now, you've already punched in your basic information. You've already gotten the email that says we'd like you to schedule an interview. Here's what you need to worry about next. There are 5 things that you need to have in place before you do this interview. Number 1 is you need a quiet place with no kids, no dogs barking, no cat climbing on you, none of that. You need to have a very quiet place for the interview purpose, okay? Make sure that it is absolutely silent there. They want to know that you have a good place to dedicate to your work once you start. Number 2, you want to make sure you have stellar lighting. I have a video, I'll post the link. You want to make sure you have great lighting. A natural light is the best. I don't have that option. I'm in my storage room downstairs, so I have a gazillion lights shining at my face, but no shadows. You need to make sure it's well lit. Figure out how to do that. There's a lot of videos out there on that. Number 3, you need some sort of educational, colorful, or child-friendly background. When I first started, I just used an ABC poster from the dollar store. That will suffice. Number 4, you need to make sure that you have some sort of headset. These companies realize that you're not going to spend buku bucks on an excellent headset that's noise canceling and all that jazz right out the gate. So just make sure that you have something with a microphone. You also want to make sure that you have props prepared. So all of these trial classes will send you the slides ahead of time. You will know what you're teaching. Make sure that you have relevant props prepared. All right, the day of the interview comes along, and I have 9 tips for, I just said 9. 9 tips. This is the Chinese way to say 9. I have a video on that too. I'll post it here so you can see. Any ESL company, they're all looking for essentially the same thing. So follow these tips. You will nail your interview. Let me know how it goes. Let me know if I was able to help you. I always love hearing that if I have a positive effect on anyone. It makes my day. All right, here we go. Tip number 1, know the slides. Once they send you that acceptance email, by the way, it is an email. It will be an email. It will probably go to your junk box. So keep an eye on that. That's the number 1 mistake a lot of people make because they're Chinese companies. They communicate via email. It's cheaper. So keep an eye on your email. But know the slides. They'll send a link saying, okay, we want to interview you. You'll go here, you'll schedule an interview, and then we want you to teach a short demo that's about 10 to 15 slides. And here's a link to the slides so you can practice. Practice. Know the slides. Know what you're teaching because that interview can spot it like that if you don't, okay? They do have teacher instructions to remind you if you forget, which is okay. But essentially, you want to kind of have it memorized and know what you're doing for the interview. Look like you're prepared, like you want this job. Okay. Tip number 2, smile and have lots of energy. Takes a lot of work to smile when you're just speaking normally, and at first it hurts a lot. But for the interview, you make sure you smile and you have pretty high energy. Not like crazy, but high energy. Okay. You want to look like you're really excited about this. Tip number 3, you want to practice your timing. Like I said, you get those slides ahead of time. So my advice for you is to practice recording yourself on the computer like this or use your phone recorder. Watch yourself teach because oftentimes we're our best critics. And then you can see where you lose your smile, where you get nervous, what slides you've forgotten things on. Practice the timing. Set an actual timer in front of you because what you don't want is you don't want to finish. Say you have 15 slides to teach and you have 10 minutes to do so. You do not want to get through all 15 slides in 3 minutes. Then what do? You bombed it. You also don't want to be on slide 4 when the 10-minute timer goes off. You bombed it. So practice the timing. Most of these companies work out to be about 1 minute per slide. Practice that, okay? Number 4, you want to be animated and you want to have a lot of facial expressions, a lot of tone of voice changes. The reason for that is these kids, I mean, we're foreign. A lot of them have never seen someone with blonde hair, with blue eyes, with uh, dark skin with, I mean, all the ways that Americans and Canadians can look different, they haven't seen it. Okay, they've only seen each other. They have not seen Westerners. So you look different. A lot of times there's culture shock anyway. And so my point in saying that is that it's really easy for them to tone out and to shut down. So when you're teaching them new language that already sounds like rubbish, you you want to make sure that you keep it exciting. So use a lot of facial expressions, be very animated, vary your tones of voice. Those are always things that are on their rubrics that they're judging you on, okay? You want to be exciting for these kids to watch, otherwise they'll just get up and walk away from the computer screen. They don't want that. That's not good for the company. All right, tip 5, use a lot of TPR. I will post a video link again somewhere up here. I will not elaborate much on this, but what I will say is absolutely pertinent that you use a lot of TPR, which stands for total physical response. Total physical response is basically talking with your hands. Um, the biggest ones are when you talk, when you speak, you need to point to your mouth. Like, it is a banana. And when you're listening for them to repeat, you nod and you listen. Well, they say, it is a banana. Good job. Okay, right? So, um, good job. Okay. You're speaking, you're listening. Big, small, or little. Look online, but you need to have mad skills in the TPR department. Make sure that you're educated on that and that you practice using it because it's super awkward at first. You want to make sure that you become a pro before this interview. All right, number 6, I'm going to recommend that you use 3 to 5 relevant props. Most of the emails that these companies send out will tell you only 1 to 2 relevant props. I'm going to throw a shot in the dark and say more is better. A lot of people are minimalist teachers, or like Minicam is great. That still counts as props, by the way. But if you've got something to really drive home the lesson. So if you're teaching on a banana and you have an actual banana, that is going to really sink in a lot better than if you draw a banana on a whiteboard or if you write the word banana. They don't know what that says. So make sure that you use relevant props, and I'm going to recommend 3 to 5 of them. Um, Look up props online too. You can find a lot of information on that. Once you know exactly what you are teaching, get props that are going to bring that home. And tip number 7, be age appropriate. So, most of these interviews, most of these demos are you are pretending to teach a 5-year-old Chinese student with little to no English ability whatsoever, in which case you want to make sure to use little to no incidental language. Incidental language is all of the extra words that we put in a sentence that are there for, I don't know, entertainment value or to ramp up a story. You don't need any of that when you're teaching basic English. It is a banana. Not, it is a yellow banana. Ooh, I like bananas. That's a big banana. No, no. It is a banana. 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 Okay? Super simple. When you're switching, you're transitioning between slides. It's often awkward if you don't say something. So when you throw something in there, just make sure it's simple. Let's go. Let's read. Look. What's next? Okay, so just something super simple that they can get even if they don't really know what you're saying. They can see it. They can see what you're trying to say. Okay, so age appropriate. Speaking speed must be very slow. This is super difficult, especially for new ESL teachers. Just practice, 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 practice. And that's why it's important to also practice your timing, but you need to make sure that your speaking speed is extremely slow. If you think you're talking slow enough, talk slower. Okay? Okay. Number 8, use lots of praise and possibly a secondary reward. I'm not a fan of secondary rewards, but most of these companies require them. My go-to is here. I'll put a link up here on some, I have a couple different secondary reward ideas. A lot of people use Google Slides. You do you, but you need to know if you need one of those. If you're teaching level 1, 5-year-old with little to no English ability whatsoever, it is okay to just print out some stars and put the star on the board. It's up to you. But you want to have a secondary reward if you need it. Along with that, you need to give a lot of praise through this interview. Good job! High five! They do it back. Ah! You can like give a good job. I have a thumbs up thing. Good job. I don't know. Okay. Well done. Wow. Great. A lot of praise goes a long ways, and they are watching for that. Okay, last but not least, tip number 9, be silly. You want to be funny. Well, I can't force you. Nobody can force you to be funny. Be yourself, but it helps if you can be a little funny, be kid, let your inner child out, okay? Because that's what they want. These kids need to have someone fun. They want to have fun so that they want to come back and learn English, so that they have that interest in the language. That's better for the company's bottom line. So be fun, be energetic, have enthusiasm. Just show you're passionate about this. If you really want this job, you're going to do the legwork. The interview process for a lot of these companies is very tedious. But once you're in, you're in. Okay. So definitely do your legwork. But there are my 9 best tips for passing any online ES interview. All right. All right, so here are my 5 bonus tips of things to never do in an online ESL interview ever, no matter which company. Number 1, do not eat or drink in your demo class, your interview. Just don't do it. Even if you have strep throat, don't do it because it just doesn't look good, okay? Just wait until you're done with your interview in 15 minutes and then you can go get a drink. What a drink of choice, whatever you want. Don't drink in class, okay? I mean, well, in class after you're hired, yeah, go ahead, gulp it down. But in the interview, don't drink. Don't eat. Not even one grape. Don't eat. Bonus tip number 2, do not ever cover your face. Now, you've got all these magical, wonderful props prepared to show it is a dog. Arf, 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 arf. Oh, wait, that was a pig. But anyway, don't cover your face because when you're talking, they need to see your mouth. The mouth placement is different with different languages. They need to see your mouth move. So make sure that you use the space around you, but don't cover your face ever. And if they are not getting something, it's also great to have something like this to show it, it, it. You can show them closer up so they can maybe figure out what they're doing wrong. Yeah, never be out of the cam. That's another tip. So use the space around you. I have an external cam, so it really makes it appear like I have a lot more space than my natural like FaceTime camera does. So I said natural, but my built-in FaceTime camera. So you may not have this much space, but you need to use what you've got. Use all of the space. You don't want to be too close. That's creepy. You don't want to be too far away where they can't see you. That's just weird too. So make sure that you use the space around you. Move around in your space, okay? Just like move around. um, but don't ever be out of the cam. You always want to be in the cam. Always. Along with that, keep eye contact with the actual cam. It's weird because you're not looking at yourself on the screen. You're actually looking way up above, and it's awkward. You get used to it. But if you don't do that, if I look down here at myself, I'm not looking at you. I don't have eye contact with you. It looks like I'm not even talking to you. That's weird to the kid, to the student, to the interviewer. So look into the cam. That takes some practice too. That's another thing you want to watch when you record yourself and prepare. Bonus tip, don't ever worry about the interviewer. Most people are super worried about what's the interviewer going to think of me if I'm acting like this? Like I feel stupid. Don't worry about that. Don't let that just slow your roll. Don't let that prevent you from getting this job. Okay? Because they've seen it all. They do it themselves. Odds are, if they are an interviewer, they themselves are a spectacular teacher. And if you are a spectacular online ESL teacher, you are more of an actor and you are really silly, most likely. Not all of us, but most people. Because it takes a lot of energy to do this. They've seen it all. So don't let them. That actually is going to help you, not hurt you. So just don't worry about what they think. So there's your 5 bonus tips of things never to do to fail. And I hope that these tips helped you. So if you have any other questions, any other things that maybe I could help you with, things that pointers, something you want to help other interviewees know, leave a comment below. Also, if you could you could subscribe. That would be super fantastic. And last but not least, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, I'm never usually like the pushy type for referrals. However, I am the type of mentor that if you use me as your mentor, I will be there for you every step of the way. I will also, if you record yourself and you think you've got the best recording, you're ready to send it in, send it to me and I will watch it and I will send you feedback back as if I were the interviewer. Okay, because I have done that before. And I do that for my recruits. If you put in the work and do it, I will give you a total honesty back. And I will spend a lot of time doing it. So definitely do that. But you want to be prepared for this interview. This is not something you're just going to go in and nail without practicing. This industry is different than teaching in a classroom, and it's actually pretty competitive. Like they want the best teachers. So you need to be the best you. And you can do that by preparing, by watching videos, by just knowing how to nail an interview like this. I gave you 9 wonderful tips. Now go in, dig further, find some more videos to help you really, really understand what all that means. Um, my point, I'm not usually someone who like begs for referrals, but I do have referral links, and if it did help you and you are thinking about applying, I have referral links in the description box below for the companies that I work for, and I would be honored if you use my link. So go ahead and click on there, punch in your basic information, and then shoot me an email and let me know that you used my link, which I super appreciate, and then I will help you through the process. Okay, each company is a little bit different. So again, thanks for watching. You guys are great. I will see you next time. Bye. Bonus 5 tips on things to not do. Okay, stay tuned at the end because I'm going to give you 5 bonus things. Stay tuned at the end because I'm going to give you 5 bonus tips on things never to do in an online ES interview.